Ding! We are live. I am Derek.
I'm Romaine. Whoop, whoop.
And I'm in a different location than I have been in past videos because I am upstairs where I normally, when we used to do the radio show, this is where I would do the radio show. And as you can see, it's a very boring location. That's Mike's room behind me. And then that's a hall closet. And, you know, that's down the hallway. And then Romaine is back in front of a Rothko glamour.
A gorgeous painting that looks like someone vomited on it. It's like an acid trip gone wrong behind me.
Yes. Well, at the outset of the video, I just want to remind everyone that this Friday, October 2nd, depending on when you're watching this, if it's live or, you know, over the next few days, Friday, October 2nd, Romaine and I will be at the Gay Days Anaheim event. Friday, October 2nd, we will be at the Anaheim Majestic Garden Hotel in the Rose Garden from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. So we encourage you to come by and see us. The Anaheim Majestic Garden Hotel has a shuttle bus, a free shuttle that goes back and forth from the hotel to Disneyland. So if you're at Disneyland during the day and you want to just pop on over and say hi and then pop back to the park, you can do that. Or there's parking available there at the hotel, or you can stay at the hotel. It's lovely. But we will be there Friday night, 5:30 to 7:30. We would love it if all of you came. We're not doing a show, but you can take pictures with us and hang out, and we'll chat with you, and it'll be super fun.
Actually, I think it's going to be more fun than any of the times we've been to Gay Days because we actually will be able to have time to interact with the listeners who are there.
Yeah,
where in the past we've always been doing a show, so it's always like, oh, I've got 2 seconds, let me talk to you, goodbye, and then you run off to do the show. But now we'll actually like get to hang out, chat with people, gossip with people, bitch with people, commiserate with people. It'll be a good time.
Yes, and hopefully it will have an atmosphere of a new beginning and not a sad swan song.
Yeah, please don't come and act like, oh, we've already died and you're visiting the graveyard of your dead favorite radio show host, because that's just sad. And I don't want that shit. That would just put me in depression mode.
Yeah, we're not interested in being depressed. That's not where we're coming. So we'll be there. And then on Saturday, Romaine and I will be at Disneyland doing our regular meetup at 10:30 in the morning on the Riverbell Terrace, which is across from where the boat leaves on the Rivers of America. Although I don't know that the boat is actually running, because I feel like with the construction going on for the new Star Wars land, the boats are going to stop operating for like some period of time.
What? That doesn't make any sense. Why would the boat stop operating?
Because the new Star Wars park is going to go right through where the Rivers of America are.
It is?
Yes.
Oh.
Did you not see any of the plans for the new Star Wars land?
Sure haven't.
All right, well, they're taking out the Big Thunder Ranch. A lot of people were panicking that they were taking out Big Thunder Mountain, but it's not Big Thunder Mountain.
It's that nasty-ass ranch off to the side.
Yes, where they have the all-you-can-eat barbecue thing.
Yeah.
So that and all the area behind it, which is a lot of, there's like employee parking and sort of storage area, and the horses that they use at the park like live there and that kind of thing. So all of that is getting moved away somewhere else, and that's where the new Star Wars land is going to go. But I just hope, because Romaine will know exactly what I'm talking about, that they will figure out a way to widen or make better the entrance into Fantasyland from the backside around Big Thunder Ranch. So remember, there's that very narrow entryway, and it's like, it's a great convenient way to like slip into the back of Fantasyland, but it gets real congested right there.
It does.
So, yeah. But I assume since they're not running the sky buckets anymore, that they'll take out like that part of it too. And maybe that'll be some other new entrance. Who knows?
Who knows? I'm sure it'll be amazing. It's Disney. That's what they do.
Yeah, I'm not an Imagineer. It's not my responsibility.
I would happily be an Imagineer if they'd let me.
Me too.
I think it would be awesome.
Yeah, I would love to announce that Romaine and I have exciting new jobs as Disney Imagineers. But no.
That would be pretty cool. I would like that. Just saying. I would do that.
I would too. That'll be really fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so before Romaine and I get to what we've been up to and take your questions, which if you're watching us on Google+, use the keypad that's up here.
Oh, yeah, I always forget to open that.
Yeah. And then, ask us your questions. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll see a thing that's down here or here, wherever it is. And then you click on that, it'll pop the Google Plus screen and you'll be able to vote up or down other people's questions or what you're seeing and all that kind of stuff. But a lot of people are joining us because they were in a hot panic because, of course, I gave you a clickbaity headline of this is our last video.
You totally did. Why are you freaking everybody out? I was like, what are you doing?
Getting people to show up, that's what.
I shake my head at that kind of nonsense.
I know, but it worked, didn't it?
I mean, I guess.
Anyway, here's the thing. Romaine and I were talking, yesterday, day before yesterday. The thing is that Romaine and I committed to doing these videos, or I should say, I committed Romaine to doing these videos that we would do, which is true, like live on the air. I'm like, we'll do this every Sunday for the month of July. And now that we're at the end of September, I feel
we're
like
still doing them. What?
Yeah, we have fulfilled our commitment.
Yeah,
on the video front.
And I, by the way, am someone who never wanted to be on video because, I mean, hello.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you're the queen whore of Periscope.
No, I'm not. I've been so busy the last couple of weeks. I've barely been on Periscope. I have not been doing my daily Periscope just because I've been crazy between working out and traveling and all this other shit. And back to school night for Romy. Yeah, I've barely been Periscoping. Although I did make a video of the bear.
Yes.
It was a horrible video and it was viewed by a lot of fucking people. So I was pretty happy with that.
Yes, I believe the title of that video was "Suck It, Derek. I have animals in my yard too."
Better animals.
Yeah, I got pretty close to a deer, but it ain't a bear.
I mean, that particular bear was so close to me that I'm like, I don't know if I should keep my window down to make this video because it was probably 10 to 15 feet away from me. It could have easily charged at my car and gotten in the window.
Did you try to get it to wave at you?
No, it was a little freaked out. I was trying to capture it because I was pulling up and I saw the bear cross the road in front of me and I'm like, oh, it's a bear. I should get a video of it on Periscope because these bitches will love that shit. Because no one really believes me that there are bears in my neighborhood. So I'm like, and so
your neighborhood, like in your yard.
Yeah, so I'm frantically trying to get my phone up and the bear is kind of sitting off to the side of the road. And I'm like trying, and I finally got him on camera a little bit. I was like, there's the bear, bitches. Okay, I gotta go before he eats me.
God.
But the bear was like, what the fuck? Crazy lady in the car. People don't usually stop and like make videos of me. But I did because I'm crazy.
Anyway, the reason though that I let everyone know that this would be our last live video that we're doing for at least for the time being is that Romaine and I are, now that Romaine is almost done with her home studio, we are going to shift our focus. Romaine's got her fingers crossed like this.
Seriously, this fucking studio is making me insane. I'm about ready to hire someone to come and do this shit so I don't have to.
So Romaine and I are going to focus our energy, our weekly energy, on doing the audio podcast because it's how people are used to listening to us, and it's more convenient, I think, for a lot of people. And I'm terrified when I hear these stories, like fucking Hunter Shipman up in the Pacific Northwest, driving around in the car with our video playing, either on Periscope or this, and it's like, nope, too dangerous.
That's a crazy town.
Yeah. So anyway, so we'll be doing more podcast stuff, and so you'll be able to hear us every week, and it won't be the same as seeing us, but it'll be more like how it was before.
Listen, they're still going to be able to see us. They're just going to see us like, you know, on our Periscopes individually, most likely. They're not going to see us together per se.
Right.
But they'll still hear us. So it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. I don't think. Although,
they're going to cry, and they're going to bitch, and they're going to moan, but they'll get over it. Won't you? You'll get over it, right?
I hope so.
Me too.
Ryan in Arizona has a question about Gay Days Anaheim. He says, "Is that like the White House Rose Garden?"
I thought the same thing. I did. I thought the exact same thing when you said the Rose Garden. Is it?
I don't know. I don't remember the Rose Garden at the Anaheim Majestic Garden Hotel. Romaine and I have stayed there.
Do. I think I know where it's at. I think it's in that kind of center part, kind of in the back.
So. Yeah, I think so too. But the point is the drinks will be cheaper than they were at the House of Blues. And you'll have more time to interact with us because we won't have to keep running back to do the show every two minutes.
Yeah, I hope a lot of people show up because I'm really looking forward to seeing people that I haven't seen in a while. And it'll just be, you know what? It'll be nice to be around listeners. I'm excited to get back to like hanging out with the listeners. I miss them a lot.
Well, you're not the only one. Mark says, cannot wait to see both of you on Friday. And Friday is in all caps with exclamation points.
I agree. I can't wait either. I'm very excited.
Yes, I am very excited too. Donna says, your podcast saved me on a recent flight to and from New York City. No TVs on the plane, so I'm down with more podcasts. Love you too. Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
Yes.
We'll do more podcasts. I promise.
I agree. And Julie says, I love working out to the podcast. Now, speaking of working out to the podcast, Romaine.
What?
How has your week of working out been going at your wife's new gym, Resurgence, in New Jersey?
All right. I'm just going to say.
Oh, actually, wait. Before you tell me about that, did you make that wood wall that the Resurgence sign is on at the gym?
I did.
You did a fantastic job. That wall is beautiful.
Thank you. I made that out of pallet wood. We tore apart like 15 pallets, which, by the way, is a bitch. Stained them all to look the same color and then applied them onto the wall. Okay. And I built the sign into the wall. It's like there's a whole section of the wall that I pre-built, and I wired it all behind the actual wood of the wall. Pretty neat.
Talented.
Who knew, right? And that was all as a surprise to the other guys. I just went and got some pieces and put it all together, and I was like, ta-da! It really wasn't that hard, but the hardest part was tearing apart the pallets. That was a bitch. Anywho, okay, so let me talk about the gym.
Yes.
So Iris gets this gym, right? And I'm trying to be a supportive wife, and I'm trying to like, go team. And here's the thing. Iris right now is the poster child for the gym because, you know, through CrossFit, she's lost like 65 pounds. She's all healthy and happy and rah, sisumba bullshit, right? Whereas I am fat and lazy and don't like to be active. And so now they want me to be the poster child. They're like, we're going to take a picture of you on day 1, and then you're going to come and work out, and then we're going to take a picture of you on day 30. And I'm just like,
They know you're going to eat funnel cake in between day 1 and day 30, right?
I mean, here's the thing. So here's the thing. I am taking baby steps. That's the way I'm approaching this.
That's how I go up and down stairs.
So no, I am not like drastically changing my everything about my life. I'm starting to work out. That is baby step 1. And then eventually I'll phase out my soda and things like that. Because I know people are going to be like, what's the point of working out if you're still going to drink soda? I get it.
What's wrong with soda?
Listen, one step at a time. So I went to 2 classes this week. The first class was a class called, I call it T-Rex, but it's called TRX. And it's where you use these bands as your body weight is the resistance. And it's all about your core.
But do you have to do like tiny hands like this? Is it really like a T-Rex?
No, you like stretch out and then you have to pull yourself up. And by the way, when you're my size, that's a lot of fucking weight you have to pull up. And then you do these like squat things. So after day 1, I could barely walk.
Of course.
Sitting down was really hard. And going up and down the stairs of my house made the sweet baby Jesus inside me cry. That was day 1. So then, even though I did not want to go back the second day, I was like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. It's going to suck. I went back because I didn't want to. So I made myself go back. So I went back the second day and we did boot camp. Now, boot camp, I can do, although we had to modify some stuff. For instance, I can't do a sit-up. And it's not because I don't want to do a sit-up. It's because I have giant tits and a big fat stomach, and I'm like a turtle on my back trying to do a sit-up. I can pull my legs.
It's boot camp, not boob camp. I know that's how they got you in the door.
Thank you for that. So I can't do a sit-up. And my coach, Tara, I'm like, Tara, I can't do it. And she goes, come on, try it. And I'm like, okay, but you'll see in a second that I'm not making this up. I can't do it. So we had to learn how to modify some stuff. And then she's like, okay, I want you to step up on this 20-inch box. I'm like, I can barely climb the stairs in my house right now. I can't step up 20 inches.
You can step up to the street.
So we had to modify a few things because I'm out of shape.
Of course.
But boot camp, I actually really liked. That I felt it was like a good cardio workout. I'm like, I can do this. This isn't so bad. But then after boot camp, Derek, it's taken me 4 days to where I could sit back down on the toilet because I couldn't squat like down to the toilet.
Right. So you had to pee standing up like you normally do.
You would think so, but no, I didn't. And like when I go to sit in the couch, it's okay because the couch is soft. So I can just kind of throw myself back.
And pee there.
But the toilet can't do that. And so I'm like a jigsaw puzzle in my bathroom, like grabbing onto anything I can to support myself as I lower myself onto the toilet. 4 days before I could sit down on a toilet again. That I did not expect. That was crazy town. I was like, what? Nobody told me that I wouldn't be able to pee.
Wow. Well, that does not inspire me to go to the gym or anybody else who will be watching.
And speaking of pee, that's another thing.
Oh, no.
So I'm in class, right? We're working out. And I'm like,
vaginal mesh fall out?
No. I'm like, oh my God, doing something. Squats or something. I'm like, I think I just peed a little. And all the women in the class who are moms go, oh yeah, you'll get used to that. What? No, I don't want to get used to peeing myself while working out.
Are you supposed to have a chamber pot under you while you're squatting?
I don't know. But evidently all these women pee themselves while they're working out. I'm like, well, are you guys wearing some kind of pad or Depends or what is going on? I honestly don't even know. So I'm like, well, this is revolting. I'm so glad that that this is what I now know. Women are peeing themselves while working out.
Okay. Well, that's super disturbing. Please do not use our new Instagram to post a photo of yourself peeing.
I know, right? Yeah. So
this is going to be your before and after, right? Before I started going to the gym, I didn't pee all over myself. And after I went to the gym, I have a permanent pee spot on me. Exactly.
This is exactly it.
That's not going to. You're not selling the gym here, Romaine.
Well, okay, so that's the other thing. So today we had this open house, right?
Right, of course.
My whole job is supposed to be like encouraging all the people who come to like work out. And I'm like, so they'd ask about like T-Rex or whatever. And I'd be like, oh, the T-Rex is hard. I'm like, I almost died. And so Coach Tara's like, stop telling people that you almost died. And I'm like, but it's true. I did. I almost died. But I always would say to people, if my fat ass can do it, so can yours.
Oh, God.
Which is to say I'm a horrible salesperson.
A little bit. Well, it's a good thing that you're not in charge of selling the gym. And that is that's Iris's responsibility.
Actually, that's Coach Tara's responsibility. Iris is lead programmer. She figures out what the hell they're going to do in their workouts.
Okay, let's go back to the questions and comments that people have. Okay. Jason in Omaha says, nice, Derek. Way to step up on the Step Up movie series reference. You're welcome, Jason. Yeah. And Ryan says, women pee when they sneeze.
If they've had a baby, yes, they do. I can vouch for that.
Julie says, since you are supporting Iris by going to the gym, is Iris going to be on the podcast?
I don't know if she will. Probably not, because she's Iris, and she doesn't like to be anywhere in public with anything having to do with me. So probably not. I don't know. Maybe I should podcast or Periscope her while she's working out. That'll get her.
Well, I mean, it would be good for the gym. Like, people will see the gym.
That's true.
Gerald says, I recently watched Jackson Wheeler's Periscope. I mentioned to him that I had enjoyed seeing him on DNR last year. He said that both of you were a lot of fun and that it was the highlight of his trip to New York City. Oh, well, that was nice.
That's super sweet. I love that. Thank you.
I know, me too. Jim says, hey, Derek, thanks for the rap room tour last week. Can we see one last set of high kicks in your shorts by the windows? I love the view of your withered peaches. Is that like a thing? Is he saying something about my balls? Is that what he's saying?
I mean, I think that's what he's saying, and I'm really disturbed.
I am too. Also, I have an update on my withered peaches. Remember last time Romaine and I were talking about this? I feel like it was in the video last week, right? We were talking about my peach tree with peaches.
We were.
And Romaine said, oh, I never get any peaches because the squirrels get them. And I was like, oh, I haven't had that problem because I have the netting underneath it. Spoke too soon. Literally the next day, woke up, looked out the window, and I was like, there is not peach one left on that tree.
I'm not surprised. The squirrels are little fucking thieves.
I think that what happened was because it was a new tree, it had never had fruit on it before. So they didn't know that there was going to be fruit on the tree. And then once they figured it out, they cleaned it out. But I think that's why the peaches lasted so long, because the squirrels didn't know it was there. And now in the future, like they're going to get them all or earlier because they'll know that they're there. But this year they lingered because they didn't know better. Terrible. But you know what? My neighbor, Lady Mary, had an Oktoberfest party yesterday.
Oh, yeah. How was that?
Oh, my God. It was so much fun. I ate my weight in Spätzle. It was fantastic. And she had a strudel problem. So they had the strudel. She brought out like sections of strudel. And it was about, 6 or 7 inches of strudel, right? And I took like a sliver of a piece because there were a lot of people. I was like, I don't want other people to miss out on the strudel. So I just had a tiny sliver. And so then later on in the party, everyone's real drunk. And then she's like, oh my God, people eat more strudel. I have so much strudel, you have to eat the strudel. And I was like, what are you talking about? And so I go inside and she goes, I went to the bakery that made the strudel and they had like a piece and it was like 6, 7 inches, right? And she's like, well, how big is the strudel? And she goes, well, this is a half. And the half serves 5 people. And so she's like, oh, well, I'm having a lot of people and, they're fatties. So I should probably get some extra. So I guess I'll have 4. I'll take 4 strudel. Right? Thinking that a strudel was going to be like a foot. Because that's what the half looked like. They were a yard, 3 feet each. I went in to her kitchen. There were 40 people at her house eating strudel all night long. We got through 1 strudel.
Come on.
She had 3, because like I got inside and there were like 2 boxes and I lifted up the 1 pastry box and it was empty. And I was like, why is she being crazy about this strudel? That's nonsense. And then I lifted up the other box and literally it was like 3-foot long snakes, 3 of them. And there was just like a space where 1 had been. And it was huge. The box was huge.
And now I want strudel.
I know. Well, I picked up a bunch of strudel at the house today because when I was leaving, she's like, take strudel. I was like, no, Mike and I are on our way to the movies. I'll come and pick up some strudel tomorrow, like whatever leftover you have. So I picked up leftover strudel today. But she gave me like, a third of one of them. I don't know what she's going to do with all that strudel. I really don't.
Oh, my God. That's a lot of strudel.
So much strudel. Okay.
That's a funny word, strudel.
Well, I mean, it's German. They have lots of very, very funny words. Okay. Deborah says, will your podcast be interactive? Because obviously we answer questions here. I think that what Romaine and I will do is that we will post on our Facebook page every week an opportunity to ask your questions, and then we will incorporate that into the podcast for the time being. Whatever future thing that we do will be certainly more interactive than that. Hopefully taking calls, that kind of thing. Yeah. But in the interim, we'll do a Ask Us Anything kind of a thing on the web. And then people can do that. Rick says, Romaine, it's okay if you pee while you work out since Iris peed on the dock on the last cruise.
No, it's never okay to pee in public. Never.
Well, Iris really had to go bad and she couldn't get on the ship. And so then she just peed straight up on the dock when we were in Mexico.
In front of a bunch of listeners. Awesome.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Let me tell you something, people. When you don't join us on a Derek and Romaine cruise, I mean, you're missing out. Like, it's a shit show. A week-long, glamorous shit show.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what the November cruise has in store for us. Oh, God. Oh, it'll be fun.
It's going to be really fun. We're having a Derek and Romaine beach party because the NCL has a private island. We're going to do a beach party, and that's going to be really fun. And I have a month to hone my DJing skills because we're going to have our own Derek and Romaine dance party. So I got to pull that together. And I got to be careful because, I was listening to Peanut Butter Jelly here and I danced off into the bathroom and then slammed my foot down hard on the corner of the scale and cut my foot open.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. And so then I'm like hobbling around like an old person. I'm like, God damn it. Because here I was like, woo, I'm so young and hip and I'm dancing around like, I'm old. It was pretty bad.
I shouldn't find that funny, but I do. Sorry.
I know. It's funny because it's true. Okay. Nancy says, Romaine, you got pixelated a few seconds ago and it looked like you were part of the painting behind you.
How do you know I'm not?
She really is. She is part of the painting. Deborah says, did you see the finals of American Ninja Warrior?
Yes, and they were fucking badass. And here's the thing. Last season, I said to Iris, this rock climber guy who looks like Jesus, he's going to win it all. He's going to be the first one. And I have to be honest, I was super stoked when he won because I always thought he was the one who had the most potential to win. So it was badass.
Okay, well, that's good.
I kind of felt sorry for the other guy, though, because they had never had someone complete all the way through. And this year, 2 of them did, and only one of them got to win the prize, which sucks. But that's the way it goes.
Chris says, tell us the news. You're killing me.
We're going to do more podcasts and less Google Hangouts. That's the news.
We do not have a new show yet to announce.
God, I wish we did. Anyone want to give us a job? No, we're working on it. It just takes time.
We are working on it, and Romaine and I have what I would consider to be a very solid plan. And so hopefully we'll have some news soon.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yes. But Romaine and I are actively working on it, and there are avenues aplenty available to us. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting important text messages.
Avon calling.
Yeah, from my neighbors. Anyway,
tell me get some more strudel. Is that what it says?
Probably. Julie says, are you going to do segments like Sexpert on your podcasts? Well, Romaine and I have not decided what our future, because like what we're going to do in the future will be something that will be probably every day, very similar to the old show. And so we will have more time and whatever else. And Romaine and I are going to work through what the segments of that will be. But in the meantime, we're going to do roughly hour-long audio podcasts. It will be similar to this, us interacting with each other, updating you on what we're doing, answering your questions, and that kind of thing. But the nice thing about the podcast format versus a traditional radio show is we have the ability to do sort of one-off podcasts too. Like I have been doing and covering the GOP debates, for instance. And then next month, I'm going to do a podcast on the Democratic debate when it happens. And the thing is that most of our listeners do not care about politics. So by being able to do a one-off podcast that is specifically around politics, the listeners who want to care about that and listen to it will be able to hear it. And then everybody else who doesn't care won't have it be part of the show. So I think that as Romaine and I develop our formats and things, we do have more flexibility in the podcast realm than in a traditional radio realm for doing other one-off things too.
Yeah, and I think the other thing too is, I mean, realistically, depending on where we end up will be how we determine a lot of what we're going to do. I mean, if we end up in traditional, terrestrial radio, let's say, that's going to put restrictions on us that we wouldn't have in, say, the world of podcast radio. But even then, we have to kind of customize whatever our show is to where we end up. I mean, that really is what's going to make the success of the show, I think. So that's actually the stage I'm looking forward to, is that part where we get to start crafting the show in a new way that's going to make sense. And I think, ultimately we'll try to do the best to make everybody happy.
Right. And in the meantime, Romaine could always do a one-off Sexpert podcast too.
Oh yeah, I could do that. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
But I could. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's really easy. So you can send her your questions and then she can answer them and wax poetic on your vagina. Okay, let's go back to the questions from our listeners. That's her wax on, wax off.
Wax on.
On your
wax
vagina.
On, wax off.
Very nice, Romaine. Okay, Jason says, are you going to be watching the premiere of Blood and Oil or Quantico tonight? Bro.
I would like to watch those shows. I don't think they're on the DVR yet. But I'll probably catch up with them on Hulu, is my guess.
I'm watching Quantico. It's in the TiVo. We're going to watch that. Because it has all the things I like. Strong female lead, sassy gay character, a hot guy in a towel.
Are you going to watch the new Philip Winchester series?
Oh, I already watched it. The Player. It debuted whenever. Thursday. It's not terrible.
Oh, no. Because I love that Philip Winchester, and I want him to succeed.
I think the ratings were really good on the show. And
by the way, the show's called The Player.
Yeah, The Player. Right. And he runs around in his boxer shorts for a solid 20 minutes. And that was...
Well, then you had to like that.
Oh, yeah, it was great. He looks good. And it's funny hearing him actually talk like an American again. Because he's not Brit. I mean, he was born in England. His parents were like stationed there or something, right? And so he was born in England, lived there for a little bit, and then lived the rest of his time in America. But he does a British accent on Strike Back. But when we would interview him and everything, it was, normal American English. So it's nice to sort of hear his actual speaking voice for a change. I mean, I like the show fine. You don't watch Person of Interest.
No.
But it's basically Person of Interest that people gamble on. And I like Person of Interest. It's fine. And Wesley Snipes, I'm happy he has a job.
I'm sure.
Although in the premiere, he didn't say bet on black, which I thought was a mistake.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Richie says, Derek, I missed your Periscopes, some of your Periscopes. What did you think of the Muppets, Heroes Reborn, etc.? Romaine, have you been watching any of these shows?
Okay, I watched the Muppets. It did not blow me away, which is disappointing because I love me the Muppets.
Yeah, me too. I laughed a couple of times out loud. Like there were some funny lines, but I do not like this Miss Piggy and Kermit broken up thing. It fucks up the dynamic.
Well, and there are a couple other things too. I was listening to Howard Stern, and he's right. The Miss Piggy voice is off. Whoever's doing Piggy's voice is not doing a great job. But
I noticed that in the Muppet movie in 2011 also, because it wasn't Frank Oz. It's whoever the new Miss Piggy is, and he's okay, but it's not the same. And Frank Oz is not dead. I'm sorry, Frank Oz, come back and do Miss Piggy,
please, for all of us.
I know he's got money and everything, but fuck it, do it. Yeah.
So no, the Muppets were okay. We'll see. I haven't watched Heroes Reborn yet. I did watch that Blind Spot show, which I kind of dig.
Right, with Sully Sullivan, also from Strike Back.
She's so hot.
The girl, of course. You like the tattoo girl. Of course you do.
Yeah. So I did like that show a lot. That's the one I think I'm the most excited about that's a new show.
Yeah, I mean, I like that show fine. So far, there hasn't been anything that's really come out this fall where I'm like, oh God, do I hate this? Because like the Muppets was weak, but it was also the pilot, and I love the Muppets. I'm willing to see where they're going to take it to see if it actually goes somewhere.
Right.
And but I liked Blind Spot, and I like The Player, and Heroes Reborn is whatever. It's Heroes again. It's fine. It's not really my thing, and I mean, whatever. It's fine.
I'm just glad Nashville's back because, I love that show and I was so happy to see it back this season. I'm not going to take a moment of it for granted.
Heidi says, I got here late. Heidi, that's on you. How long do the podcasts run? An hour? 2? No. While we are not getting paid to doing free podcasts, Romaine and I will start talking, and then the podcast will end when we run out of things to say, which will probably be 45 minutes to an hour. Let's see how it goes.
5 minutes.
We're going to go until Romaine has to pee in her transvaginal mesh. She says, also, I'm laughing so hard about the vaginal mesh. May have peed a little, too lazy to get up and change the undies. Heidi, that's so gross.
That's a little gross.
Deborah says, for those of us who don't travel and so won't get to see you in person interacting together, would you consider doing a Google Hangouts once in a while? Deborah, this really, the Sunday thing is very hard, as you can tell, because we're doing it at 8 o'clock. Scheduling this live hangout every week has been a challenge.
It has, and mostly because of me. Actually, I can't even blame Derek on this because a lot of it is on me. Because Sunday's like a day with Iris and Romy at the house, and so it's usually the day we get a lot of stuff done. And so, like, if you've paid attention to our Google Hangouts, I've done them from my friend's house. I've done them from Colorado. I've done them from all over the fucking place. And sometimes we've had to move times around. Like today, I had the open house thing. So it's been really challenging for me in particular, more so than Derek. I'll take the blame on that.
But even still, I mean, I really did spontaneously commit Romaine to doing this for a month, and then it went on for 3 months. So realistically speaking, it'll be much easier for us to, during regular business hours, record podcasts while Romy is at school and Iris is at work, and Romaine and I can be focused and dedicated to things. And then the podcasts are just much easier for people in the way that they are used to hearing us. But all of this is temporary until whatever our new thing is. But we will do another live Google Hangout when we have our new show to announce and all that kind of stuff. So there will certainly be more of this stuff in the future, especially when we have special events and things going on. Because, I mean, Romaine and I both like this. This is a fairly easy format. The scheduling is the hard part about it. But it's interactive and we can see and talk to each other and it's convenient. We can do it at home in our pajamas or less. And it works out great.
I have to wear a bra. So that's the one downside to all this. I'm like, oh God.
Happy Jack says, I don't want this to be your last hangout. I really like actually seeing the two of you. Well, we like it too. Now that Romaine is into Periscope and everything, when we start doing a regular show again, you'll probably see the two of us together in other video formats in the future.
Maybe.
Look, whatever new show we have, we're going to have to promote the shit out of it. So you'll be sick of the sight of us for at least a few weeks to months before and after whatever we're doing launches. I promise you.
Okay, he's totally right about that.
Yeah. I mean, like, we'll be sick of us.
Yeah.
So I know you will be too.
Yes.
Okay. Jason says, will you be posting an event through your Derek and Romaine Facebook fan page for the Gay Days Anaheim event on Friday so it's easier to forward it to our friends? If you already did that and I missed it, my bad. We haven't done that, but I'll make one through our Derek and Romaine website and post it on our Facebook page. So then you can tell your friends and forward it along to everyone else. We do have the functionality on the website. Paying all that money for that stupid website. Might as well use it. Okay. I will do that. Let me get right on that. Yes, Roz, I tore right through it. Okay. What have we got next? David. What was your take on Vanessa Williams on Miss America? I know it's a bit late. A bit late? That was like 2 weeks ago.
It was a couple weeks ago, but I watched it.
You did? You watched the whole thing?
I mean, I watched most of the show because my gay brother was in Denver with the gay boys, and they wanted to watch it, of course.
Of course.
I actually thought the apology was rather sweet and long overdue, honestly. What did you think, Derek?
Well, I mean, I agree that the apology was long overdue, and it was actually very sweet that Vanessa Williams was there. And I mean, the thing is that what's hilarious is 30 years later, the Miss America pageant needs Vanessa Williams more than Vanessa Williams needs the Miss America pageant.
Yeah.
And I think they recognize that. But I actually think with the Pope in town and everything, you know, people have been in the spirit of reconciliation recently, and I'm all in favor of it. Miss America reconciling with Vanessa Williams, the Pope encouraging people to reconcile with people they disagree with.
I'm sure there's some people you can reconcile with, Derek.
Who would you like me to reconcile with? You?
No, I had some other people in mind.
Who?
Let me tweak my little devil horns.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I will not say any names.
Okay, well.
I might have had a bear named after one of these people, though.
They probably had it coming.
Definitely.
Mark says, Derek, where are you? I miss your rap room with the perfectly aligned blinds. See you Friday, Mark, in Palm Springs. I am upstairs. I mentioned at the beginning of the video. I'm upstairs where Romaine and I, when we did the radio show, this is where I recorded the show from right here. So as you can see, it's a very plain, boring space. But there's the attic fan that I had to WD-40 and fix. But I fixed it.
So butch, Derek.
I got real lazy on it, y'all. Okay, Romaine, Jason in Omaha asks, have you been to your box lately? P.O., that is.
Yes. Well, not in a couple days. I didn't stop by last couple days, but I went before that. What did he send me? When I got back from Colorado, there was a bunch of stuff, and I'm very forgetful these. I feel like my brain is turning into mush, and I can't remember shit. So remind me if I'm forgetting something that I shouldn't forget. Because my brain's a little mushy.
I don't know, but the last time
I did some great shit. I remember that.
Well, you know, I went to my P.O. box, and there were 2 notices in my box that there were things that had arrived for me. And then when I took the slips up to the counter, they only had 1 thing. So I don't know what happened to the other one. But the one that was sent to me was a box set of the Golden Girls. So that was very nice.
Oh, that's kind of awesome. I got an envelope with $5 in it.
Woo! Grandma's back.
That was because someone wanted me to send them some DNR decals. And then I got, which just cracked me up. You do not need to send money. And then I got a $50 bill in the mail the other day.
Dang.
That was kind of sweet.
Maybe I should start whoring out a P.O. box after all.
No. That was for a bet that I won. And the person wrote, a bet is a bet, which I have to say, kind of loved that.
Whatever. I'm still waiting for my $1.30.
That's funny. So I got a t-shirt for Romy the other day, and I got a bunch of stuff the other day. I honestly, though, my brain I can't remember shit. Cece, you better get the fuck down from there before I beat your ass. Sorry, the dog is trying to go eat the cats. Iris, will you come fix the gate? Stupid dog.
Your life at home is so glamorous.
She has learned how. So we have a chair that blocks the staircase so the dog can't go upstairs and eat the cats because all she wants to do is eat the cats. And she doesn't want to eat them. She just wants to play with them. And she has learned how to move the chair out of the way. She's such a bitch.
That's pretty sophisticated.
She's a smart dog. I kind of hate how smart she is.
You probably should have gotten a stupider dog.
I know. Iris, did you hear me? Anyone? No, she's not listening. I guess the dog's gonna eat the cats. Oh well.
I guess.
Tough shit.
Keith says, do you like Gotham without Jada Pinkett Smith?
I mean, listen, I really like Jada Pinkett Smith on that show, and it's a good show, and I'm sure they're gonna do good things with it, but she will be missed.
I don't watch the show, so I'll have to take your word for it.
It's a good show. I like it. It's a great show. I'm sure your roommate's watching it.
No, I don't know that he is actually.
Really? I'm surprised.
Yeah, we talked about it before. He wasn't that into it. Like the concept. He wasn't.
Okay.
Ryan in Arizona says, Romaine, did you clear out your storage shed in Arizona yet?
Of course I did. Of course I did. It's very hard to shake your head no when you're saying yes. That's a weird thing. I'm so lazy. Did you remember that part where I said that earlier? I'm so lazy.
Was that you or me? That sounded like me.
No, that ding was me. It was George in San Francisco asking if I got something, and I don't think I've gotten that.
Uh-oh. Well, anyway, speaking of people sending us things, because right now the question queue is empty for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't think I actually cleared it out. Sometimes I think it clogs and then all of a sudden there's like 1,000 messages. But anyway. I got a bacon bowl in the mail, but not an actual, like the bacon bowl from the guy, like an off-price, like dollar store bacon bowl.
Right.
But it was sent to my house without a note or anything. And I was like, well, that's kind of creepy. And then it turned out it was...
I could tell you who that was, just
Parker
based on that
Giddy.
description. Yeah, I could tell you. I know her ways.
And Giddy's like, oh, well, I didn't mean to scare you, but now you're just going to trash me on the air about it. I was like, well, I mean, it was sweet, but also creepy. And also it's my house. Please don't send things to my house.
Yeah, I think the first time she ever said something to my house, I'm like, what? And then I'm like, it's Giddy. But don't you other bitches get any ideas? Because that's why I have a P.O. box.
Yeah. Also, I have enough things in my house. Is that you or me?
That wasn't me. I don't think that was me.
I think we're getting a call.
Who's calling us?
I don't know. And I don't even know where the call is coming from. Oh,
it's coming from inside the house.
I assume it's somebody trying to
dial us up
on the app, on the whatever, the Google app. Bitch. That's not how this works. Also, this is almost over. Okay. Jason says, Romaine, what states does Romy, I think, need postcards for? For some reason, this...
I could tell you she still needs Minnesota. There's only like 2. Minnesota was one. I can't remember them all. Fuck. Maybe Arkansas. There's only a couple she needs. It's like 2 or 3 that she's missing.
Okay. So
I will Periscope and let everyone know what the remaining states are. I just haven't done it yet.
Okay. Julie says, Romaine, when you clean out your storage locker in Arizona, we'll have a party.
That could be a part. You could be waiting a while. I am so lazy.
Rob says, getting into cruise mode. Are you?
Oh my God. I gotta be honest. Like Gay Days Anaheim, which I'm leaving for in like 4 days, I am not at all prepared for, you know what? I'm not prepared for life. This is kind of what I'm learning about myself. And I don't know when I became this person who used to be prepared for life and now is not at all prepared for life, because for Gay Days Anaheim, I don't know where I'm staying. I don't know what I'm driving. If I'm driving, I don't know anything. I don't know anything. And then there's the cruise. I don't have any of my costumes yet. I haven't even thought about my costumes yet. And you know, that's usually something that I'm like all crazy about.
Yes.
I feel like it's so far away. And even though I know it's not, I just can't even get my head to that point. I'm like, and even Iris is like, are we ever going to get around to getting these fucking costumes made? And I'm like, hey, bitch, I'm unemployed. I got other priorities. Like finding a job. And she's like, oh yeah. And I'm like, why don't you help come up with some costume ideas? How about that? We'll see.
Whatever. My costume is going to be whatever fits in my backpack.
Yep. I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. I mean, I'm gonna try. I gotta get some good '80s shit. I want to go get that stuff when all the Halloween stuff is out because that'll be the best pickings.
Well, the good news is I never throw anything away, so I can just go into my own closet and pull something from the 80s.
Of course you can. You fuck. Jesus. Oh, that's sad.
Don't judge.
Oh, I do harshly.
Jason says, "Are you two going to do a joint Periscope for Gay Days?"
Yeah, probably. Why wouldn't we?
Yeah, I think so. We'll do some kind of Periscope probably from our thing at Gay Days Anaheim for sure.
Yeah.
But yes, I like Romaine. I'm also in cruise mode and in the Gay Days Anaheim mode. And we still have people who are booking for the fall cruise.
Which is, I mean, I'm like, what? Derek keeps telling me, he's like, oh yeah, so-and-so just booked. I'm like, what?
Yeah. We still have last minute people slipping in.
I love it though. I think it's awesome. It's just gonna make that cruise more fun.
Yeah, I think so too. It's gonna be a blast. But we got a lot to do in the next 34 days or something insane before the cruise happens.
We're getting there.
Yeah, here's what's gonna happen. Romaine and I are gonna go to California this week, go do Gay Days, come back on Monday, and then it's basically gonna be every day is gonna be cruise day for the next month.
It's happening before that. I told Iris, I said, don't talk to me tomorrow, don't look at me tomorrow. I don't want to hear from you tomorrow because tomorrow is DNR cruise day and I got shit I got to get done and I cannot fucking be disturbed or bothered. I'm like, I got shit I have to do. I said, so I don't want to hear about anything unless it's about the Derek and Romaine cruise. So I'm just telling you now. That was literally a conversation I had earlier today. I'm like, don't have your little friends call me about the gym. I'm like, I do not care. All I care about is the cruise.
Wow, Romaine is really putting her on notice.
Oh my God, you have to. If you don't, they're gonna drive me fucking nuts.
She's your wife. You married her.
I know. I know.
All right. Well, we have come to the end of the road. Romaine, our hour's almost up.
Well, can I tell you about these funny lesbians I met today?
Please, yes. And then I will tell you about the most outrageous thing that happened in the Maze Runner Scorch Trials movie, and then we're out.
Okay. So today we had the open house, right?
Yes,
so
for the gym. Your wife's gym.
For the gym. Yes, for the gym. Thank you. And so I'm there, and one of the owners, Tara, had some friends drive up from somewhere else in New Jersey, like a ways away. Hey, can you guys keep it down a little bit? I'm doing a thing over here. Anywho, so these really nice older lesbians, and older means older than me. Older lesbians are there, and they're like two really kick-ass lesbians. And so, of course, Iris is drawn to her people like a moth to a flame. So I see her, and she's over there talking to these two dykes. And so I make my way over there, and I'm talking to these gals. And they are super funny, and I just love them. And they're way into CrossFit. And I was like, oh, my God, you guys are awesome. And they just had me in stitches the whole time. So anyway, I was just shooting the shit. And we sat there talking for a good long time. So after they left, because they're like, oh, we're going to add you on Facebook and everything. I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. So they leave, and like not 10 minutes goes by, and Tara gets a text message from one of the lesbians. And it's like, oh my God, is that Romaine that I met today? Romaine from the radio? Oh my God, she's one of my favorite people. She's like the funniest person ever. Oh my God, was that her?
Are you sure she meant you?
I guess. I don't know.
The funniest person ever.
Bitch, I'm funny.
Okay.
You may not think so. I think so. But it was so funny because I told Iris, I'm like, it's so nice being in this world of fitness because nobody recognizes me or associates me with fitness.
True.
So it's kind of nice living in anonymity, and then funny shit like that happens.
Well, that's very sweet.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Made me giggle.
So Mike and I last night went to see the Maze Runner, the Scorch Trials, the sequel, the Maze Runner sequel.
Does it suck?
No. It's actually Mike agreed. It was better than the first one.
Oh, that's good.
The first one wasn't terrible, but it wasn't Hunger Games. So anyway, but I went to see the movie, and the hot guy who's the lead in it, Dylan O'Brien, he's also on Teen Wolf. And Mike and I, we walk out of the theater. Mike goes, just so you know, he's the least attractive guy on Teen Wolf. He's pretty hot. So anyway, But here's what made me furious about the Maze Runner movie. Just one of the many irrational fights I've had with inanimate objects this week. Every time he like leapt over something, because he was wearing kind of like a clingy but loose t-shirt.
Uh-huh.
And so every time he jumped over something, like the shirt would like, woo, like ride up a little bit. But at one point, he and all of the rest of the Maze Runner people got captured and they were hanging upside down. Did the shirts ride up? No.
What?
Glued in place. And literally, like, they stapled the shirts on their belts because they were the ends of the shirts like this, right? Like the tail of the shirt is sticking out, but it is attached to the thing. So it's like this. Literally, while they're flying through the air, upside down. So I'm pretty convinced,
stupid.
Huh?
That's stupid.
Yeah, I'm pretty convinced that actually they weren't upside down. They shot it as if it was upside down, and they were actually right side up. Because there was no other reason for the shirts to look like that. And it was maddening. It's like, what the fuck is happening? And then he took a shower at one point. So I'm like, okay, they literally shot him from the chin up in a shower. It wasn't even like a lady where they like shoot her from here, right? No, the shower's here. He's in the shower and it's like right here.
Is he Mormon or something?
I don't know. I really don't. It's like, are you trying? Was it some kind of like, well, we got to get a PG movie, and if we show his shoulder, then we might get a PG-13.
Stupid.
Anyway, it was infuriating. I was mad. So anyway. And then, of course, the second argument that I got in with was at the supermarket, I get these bagel slices. And I was telling Mike today in the supermarket, I was like, you know how I'm always having fights with inanimate objects? Mm-hmm. But they give you these bags of bagel slices. And then the last couple of times, the bagel slices have been filled with these, like a cinnamon raisin bagel and like a blueberry bagel. And Mike goes, oh, I noticed that. It is horrible. I was like, yeah, that's right. It is horrible. So we were on the same page about the bagels. It's outrageous. Don't fuck with my bagels and get that fucking guy's shirt off. Oh, that's it.
Both seem like reasonable things, Derek.
I think so too. Well, Romaine, this has been a super fun in a far out way. You're obviously an angel.
In honor of the Pope, I found Christ, and now I am an angel.
Well, you should let everybody know where you found him because they've been looking for him for a while.
I found him right there, down there.
That's inappropriate.
It was disgusting. No, but you know where you can find Derek and Romaine? We're going to be at Gay Days Anaheim. When, Derek? This Friday.
That's right. October 2nd, 5:30 to 7:30 at the Anaheim Majestic Garden Hotel. It is a new location on Friday night. And then on Saturday, 10:30 a.m. in Disneyland at the Riverbell Terrace. Right?
I will be having a pancake in the shape of Mickey Mouse.
Yes. And by the way, for people, because somebody, like I posted about Gay Days Anaheim, and they're like, oh, well, I can't afford to go to Disneyland, so I won't see you on Friday. Okay, it doesn't cost anything to see us at the Majestic Garden Hotel. It will be free. I mean, you can have a drink if you want to or get a snack or something, but you just come on by, park right there at the hotel, pop in, say hi. 5:30 to 7:30 Friday night.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
It will be fun. Lady, I look forward to seeing you soon, although I'll talk to you before then, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Yes, and for all of our listeners, again, this is going to be our last like regularly scheduled Sunday video for the time being, but tune into our podcast at derekandromaine.com. Click on the listen button at the top of the screen and subscribe to our podcast. Give us nice reviews on iTunes. Romaine and I will be, more dedicated doing weekly podcasts from now on. So you'll be able to hear us more frequently there. And then you'll hear even more from us as soon as we announce our new show, whatever it might be.
Sounds good.
I'm
excited.
I am too.
Kisses to my bitches. Love you guys. See you guys in Anaheim.
And don't forget to watch the blood moon eclipse. It's happening in just a few minutes. Ooh, literally like 10 minutes here on the East Coast. Don't miss it. All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.